All right, it's 1 o'clock. Let's get started. Today, I quickly want to introduce you to Altmetric. And yeah, maybe first, before we talk about Altmetric and Altmetrics, and also we are going to be talking about donuts, but maybe not this kind of donut. I want to talk about traditional bibliometrics. So, what is bibliometrics? Um, it's basically counting. And there's different things that are counted here. I got some data from Scopus. I looked at papers from ETH Zurich and I sorted them according to the highest citation numbers. And here we see this is a paper about an R package, so statistical software, and this is very highly cited. So this is one thing that is being looked at in bibliometrics. Then the second thing, we look at authors. So this is one of the authors of this paper, Martin Machler, and authors are sometimes quantified with an H index. Here's an H index of 9. And then there is also numbers that describe uh, journals. So here for the statistical software journal where this is published, then we have site scores here and other scores. And yeah, these, especially for the journals, they were initially introduced by libraries to decide, well, which journals are cited a lot. So these are the ones that we are going to subscribe to, and the other ones that aren't cited a lot, we don't uh, subscribe them. We just get them if somebody needs them. And this then has evolved into, well, we look at these numbers and we decide this is a good journal or not. So this is how this is abused or used today. And this is all based on the scientific literature. So it's about which journals cite other journals and so on. And now we are moving over to altmetrics and altmetric. And there are two things. And it's a bit confusing because it's very similar. So altmetrics is a concept and altmetric is the tool I will describe to you shortly, but it of course has a relation. And what is the goal of these? So we want to look outside of the scientific literature. We want to see how do people or how does the internet talk about science? How is it perceived in news outlets, in maybe videos on social media? Are the results of scientific work also picked up there? Are people discussing it? How do they perceive it? So this is the concept of altmetrics. There's a seminal manifesto on this topic from the University of Nebraska. It's 2011. And in there is also a suggestion how we could describe impact. So not only citations, but also, well, how many times is something downloaded? How many times are people looking at it, even though they might not cite it later on, but it causes interest? Or you could think about the opinions that are written about it, peer review. Citations is, of course, the old school way. And then there's also, well, what other news or websites link to this, where is it stored, and so on. So we want to have a broader perspective on the issue. And now I want to move over to the altmetric, which is the commercial tool, and that sort of tries to implement this concept. And with that, we are also coming to the donuts. So here I have a paper from Nature Biotechnology. It's from 2019, and it's from researchers at the Department of Chemistry and Applied Biosciences here. So Professor Wendelin Stark and Robert Grass, and it's about storing information in DNA. And we can see here we have numbers of how many people have accessed these papers. We have citations, and then here it also says altmetric. And if we click here on the metrics, then as I promised you, we'll have donuts afterwards. So we have this really colored donut. And the colors, they are based a bit on, or they should provide a quick overview of what kind of sources mention or discuss this article. And so we can see here we have a lot of tweets. Maybe X is not the best platform anymore to be around, but of course this has been a while back, so things have changed drastically. We have a bunch of news articles written about this. It's mentioned on 4 Wikipedia pages. There's also reference to Mendeley libraries. So Mendeley is a tool for reference management where you can store citations and papers and work with them. It's discussed on blog, even Reddit, Facebook, and we have videos. And these categories have colors, so that's why you get this very colorful donut. And then it says here, view more on Altmetric. So let's click on that and see where that leads us. So this leads us to basically an Altmetric page of this. And then we could more closely investigate, well, what are the news articles that have been published and reference this paper? What are the exact blogs? What are the topics? So we can follow up on this and maybe learn a bit more. And I think this is especially cool. Maybe if you are a researcher and you've published something and this is picked up and then you want to see, oh yeah, how is this perceived? What do people think about it? So that was my first example. Then let me quickly move to a second one. So here is Angewandte Chemie, is a very important chemistry journal, and I have a article here. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I quickly need to change to my slides because now on this page I don't see the link to the Altmetric anymore. So I will quickly do that in my presentation. This is just what I've just shown you. Because on my other computer where I prepared the presentations, you see here I have this button view metrics that I can click on. So it's a bit maybe less conspicuous. It's not colorful, so you have to look out for it. And now it suddenly has disappeared, and then some pop-up opens. You still don't have a donut, but you have the number. It says here, oh yeah, it has an altmetric score of 9. And if we click on the altmetrics, then we see, oh yeah, there's actually tweets on X about this and on Blue Sky and readers on Mendeley. And if we then click on see more details, then we come to a similar page. And we can also look at the evolution over time for this paper or how it is perceived. And typically it's at the beginning where there's a lot of discussion and then it sort of ebbs off. Okay, so that was this part. And then I want to show you that also on the Altmetric page, there is a tool where you can use that in a different way, and that's the bookmarklet. So basically you save it as like a normal bookmark, but it's a little JavaScript that then redirects you to Altmetric. And so here I have a paper. So I have the link here. That was also, it's not always in every browser the same. Before I use Chrome, now I have Edge. And in Chrome, it says, well, it has an Altmetric score of 0, or it just showed a dash with nothing. And so let me quickly run my Altmetric bookmarklet, and then this pops up, and I also get my donut, and I can click on it for more detail. And then I see this is an old paper, 1998. And you see there's some patents and Wikipedia pages. And personally, I'm not sure how these are actually aggregated to get to the score of 6. I guess that a document like a patent is ranked much higher than a tweet, because a tweet is very low effort, whereas if you have to write the patent and reference, of course, this maybe is a more important citation to this. Then I also want to highlight, this is the publications page of the Department of Chemistry and Applied Biosciences, and we can search, for example, let's say, oh yeah, we want to look at the papers from the year 2020, and then we just have the paper, and we can also display the altmetric data and then see and you really see there's quite some differences between different articles. So here we have one with a particularly colorful donut, and you see it's a lot, especially news outlets that have high relevance here. And we have videos and tweets and so on. And then before I end, I want to highlight that you can also log into this tool. Um, and yeah, what does that help? um, Basically, you can see the same thing we already saw, but you have some more possibilities in addition. And so let me just quickly do that. And then we have an interface where we could search for individual things. But what I want to highlight is here, so I can edit the search, and then I can, for example, say, oh yeah, now I'm interested in our department's publications. So I can do all kinds of searches here. And then we see I get my top hits. So they are sorted according to their altmetric score. And so here again, this is actually how I came up with, I choose this paper because it has all kinds of colors in its donut. So let's here look at another one that we haven't discussed so far. And I mentioned you can see maybe some more things. For example, here sentiment analysis is done for tweets. And so you can see, yeah, how is this paper perceived? Is it rather positive? Is it neutral or negative? And if you have, and you can also filter for these and then look at them and inspect them. Oh yeah, what are the negative voices saying? And one more thing, we can also look, yeah, where is the audience who discusses these things? And with that, I'm almost at the end. I think I've showed you what I wanted to show you. I want to highlight there's a little coffee lecture card that summarizes some of these points that I've made now. And I quickly paste this link into the chat. And then I also want to make a little ad for next week's coffee lectures. Next Tuesday, my colleague Emmanuel is going to be talking about FAIR data. FAIR means findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And things are a bit changing in science, how you publish or handle your data. And it goes into that direction that you make them available after a research project is complete, or once it's published, that you also make data available and that you follow certain standards so people can more easily reuse it and also use the fruits of your labor. So it doesn't just rot away on some hard disk and is never used again. And with that, I want to thank you for your attention. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them now. I don't know if there's something in the, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of the information is from the DOI, the Digital Object Identifier, which is a unique number for a paper or a unique code. And probably it's also scraping for probably article titles, I think, and authors. But most or the most reliable data is with this digital object identifier because it's unique. And then you know, oh yeah, if this is linked and there's a comment, that connection is made. And they say on their website that they update daily. So if something new appears, it should optimally be findable the next day. I don't know how well that works. I haven't really investigated. Yeah. Okay. Then I thank you again for your attention and I wish you a wonderful afternoon. Hope to see you again next week.